So I have to keep going and breaking through this algorithm because it's just so heavy of a crime against me, meaning to stage up my life for death. I believe it's really sad what these people did to me in the general, but never letting loose onto the fact that they were really actually thinking inside of their minds that they were going to allow me to get into certain places, or even having made through many covert attacks and many covert abuses already that far that were meant to take my life without my wherewithal of knowing that fact or having reason to that fact. But then allowing me to get into a place that they were going to steal the deed to my house, perform identity theft to the point of taking out fraudulent insurance claims on my life, like life insurance policies, while staging my life for death in their much mediated system of their own, just to suggest that they had all power over my life to do this crime to me. So yes, I'm talking about the individuals involved in covert warfare, the systemic abuses, and the situations I've had to live. So yes, it's also the more general description of the places of systemic powers of where these people wanted to take over my life to perform an identity theft, where they were to ensure that their premeditated murders were going to work, and that these officials and corrupt officials, especially the abusers that manipulate their means of controlling a person's life to the point of absolutely sabotaging their mind and to placing them inside of covert warfare of poisoning would do to a person, to work as though they are above the law. So once I figured out little by little how to focus through the poisoning, I started to be able to write on things that, moments to minutes past, you would literally not have the availability to keep that thought process or keep knowing those things that you wrote about. So it's much like the movie Memento. Have you guys seen that movie? It's a really good movie that kind of depicts the psychological warfare and what it actually feels to have your short-term memory being displaced or lost, and in that covert fashion to where they're enabling it to be a type of way where it's not to allow you to get away from the crime. Like John G. in that movie, he was writing down like they're after me, they're trying to kill me, and he would like put up post-it notes to try and remind himself of like who to be like scared of and who to stay away from. Well, the covert players in that movie would have access to him in ways that they should have never accessed him in his life. So they would get in his apartment or in his motel. I can't remember what he stayed in. I think there was different places that he had to stay in, but they would get access to his life, and they would take away post-it notes, suggesting to stay away from a certain person. They're basically, it's him suggesting that they're part of the crime, they're part of being the perpetrator. Well, if you don't have that, you're constantly left in the state of the art of war over your life, and you're like in places where you don't have the availability to write anything, you don't have the availability of remembering. Like, I was in a homeless shelter going out to try and make as much money as I could, because like they want you in this control grid, you know, and it is. It's a control grid so that you can't make it out from underneath that state of the art of war. So I know it sounds super terrifying, but it's the absolute truth. It's much like I'm looking through into my reality. It's like in that moment where it's just like, man, I'm in this psychological thriller that I'm not, you know, no one's paying me to be in this movie. You know, no one's helping me to see through this covert operation that's being played in my life. But it would be literally like me flopped to the ground in like 97-degree weather, you know, having to work, and me like literally barely making it to the water to like open up my throat, and then by the time, you know, middle of the day comes around, all that memory is gone. So you're going back after long, hard, arduous day's work in a very also created system to make sure that you're homeless in the first place by the same perpetrators that had always been poisoning me up from a very young age. So it's like, dude, these people like, dude, go get help, man. It's not I that need help. It's you that need help. Obviously, I need help in other ways, but freaking cry me a river, for crying out loud. That's legitimately how it feels. Like, so much pain coming from people that are supposed to protect you and or suggest that they're there to be your friend. And, you know, your girlfriends staged up into being bribed or manipulated or incentivized or straight up dick brained. You know, and it is a real thing. Forgive my, I don't know, the ebonics type of talk about what it means to be dick brained, but it's absolutely what it is. And not just incentivized. It's literally these people that want to get away with murder, get away with this crime, overtaking your life, overtaking your livelihood, overtaking areas of your life to suggest that you're not going to be wanted in the workplace. You're not going to be able to perform up to your ability in any organic fashion at all. So that it's to suggest good luck calling back your own self, or even realizing that you had a normal self outside of the abuse, but you do. I always had. It doesn't matter if I was 11 or 15 or 22 or 34 or 42 or right now. Right now, ongoing. I have an origination about me that I have never, ever gotten to focus on, to work like. So I feel as though people are placing me into disposition and allowing these positions of authority to have access to be able to completely conspire against me, to erase my story, erase my identity, and cause for full harm inside of my life. And so what I'm absolutely saying has happened to me should capture the world's attention, much like that of a thriller movie that, you know, you'll see these psychological thrillers that are just captivating because oftentimes they're, what I believe, taking reality and flipping them into a story. And it's in a knowing type of fashion, because that's how these satanic ritual abusers work to determine your life's course. and then make money off of not only the areas of your life by taking and staging your life to work against itself, but then when you die, that's when they come out with these big productions to create that movie of your life. And so it's like making money off of your energy and time from the moment you're born until the moment you die. And then after you die, they're going to make money off of you forever. Like, while you yourself don't get any of that income. Like, you're not even allowed outside of their shitty shit brigade open air prison system, a campus by design that's hacking and hijacking your essence and stealing away your availability to yourself to even think for yourself. So that's what these people want. So to put that into a language that both expresses the injustice and the determination that it takes to just survive it is just insanity. So it's you defying their lawlessness and them defying every single law. Every single one of them. Because it's a theft on your time. It's a theft on your availability to say no. And you're nobody's property. But that's why these people were initiated to work in this way through their oaths, so they have double faces and double-minded ways that they're able to then take the powerful positions, wear them badges, as if they have honor within them. But they don't. They twist the rules that were meant to guard people from these crimes, and instead of actually protecting them, they're absolutely using them to hurt you. And hurt you in ways that people just aren't supposed to see as true. But they are true. Every boundary that you could ever make or create to where these people want to stage your life and use your time and energy and essence as their resource, as their availability to their own self, when they should have been there to protect your life, protect your grounding, protect your boundaries. They didn't just cross them. They crossed the line with what it's meant, with what it means to be human, and what it means to be an absolute demon, and many demons, many, all over the place, complete cucks, complete cowards. I mean, take this earth as if it's a bowling ball and roll it down the lane, and that's literally how wide their fucking CUNT is. Like, that's how big of a CUNT that these people actually are. They crossed you so fucking thoroughly and so fucking bad. That's like, good luck. Just like he said, good luck getting anyone to believe you. I told that motherfucking cuck, I don't give a fuck who believes me. I'm gonna speak my story until I can't speak no more. After what you've done to me, B, you deserve multiple back-to-back sentences in prison for what you've been doing, and all of the rest of the people that have been working within this conspiratorial way to take over my whole entire life. Not just take my life, to take my whole entirety of life. So they tampered with me in what I feel is the worst and the sickest crime that one could ever think to have to endure emotionally within their heart. Not just physically with the poisons, but emotionally, my heart has been completely stripped from my ever being able to be an organic me ever again in any kind of original form of my life. So thanks a lot, basically, you complete cucks, complete assholes. Anyway, I have so much more to say, but I gotta go. Peace.